Let's start this presentation with a short introduction about what development outsourcing is. Development outsourcing is a situation when a company decides to hire a consultant or another company to perform some of the programming tasks for them. Today, I'm going to discuss possible applications of development outsourcing for your company and possible benefits. So please stay tuned. And let's begin with a short story. Whenever I ask a fellow Dynamics NAV partner, and frankly speaking, I know quite a number of them. Whenever I ask, so what's up with your Dynamics NAV business? Usually I hear those answers, so that we have so much on our plate, or I have too many projects, I cannot recruit the adequate number of people. So the wording might be different, but the actual problem boils down to this. We have too much work. This can be illustrated by this simple picture. Nowadays in Dynamics world, I think that you can relate to that. I hope that you can relate to that. Projects, they grow at a steady and really satisfactory pace, while the number of people available to work as consultants or developers doesn't catch up. So here we have this gap, which results in the following challenges. People that actually work for us, they need to work extra hours, so it can easily result in people burning out, or simply that you need to pay them extra for them to work extra time. Some of the deadlines are in jeopardy, which is also very dangerous and very risky, because your customers, they won't just wait forever for the projects to end. And also we miss some sales opportunities. So not all RFPs that we receive from the customers can be answered by us. So companies which are faced with such challenges, they tend to look for solutions. Most popular are those. They might turn to an outsourcing company, big players like Wipro or Cyclone or SAI, international companies that don't necessarily specialize in any NAV but have a lot of developers on board. They can turn to nearshoring or offshoring options, so actually creating teams in different, usually less costly locations. They can also use headhunting, and Nigel Frank is probably the best example here. And they can create their own HR departments, so recruit a couple of HR specialists who will screen CVs, organize interviews, and select the best candidates. No matter which option you choose, and all of them can offer really strong benefits, but probably might not also be ideal. No matter which option you choose, most of the time you're looking for those qualities. You want this outsourcing to be to offer you availability, flexibility, proximity, and affordability. Let me explain what I mean by this, and also draw your attention to the fact that one of the possible solutions is turning to another NAV partner, like Dynamics Development Center, our company, which I'll talk about in a moment. So when we are talking about flexibility in our outsourcing development offering, this is what you can expect. First of all, you can choose between junior, medium, and senior developers. They can be of different specialties. So some of them will be experts in creating reports against the clock. Some of them will have background with manufacturing, retail. Some of them will be very strong in creating EDI. So you can choose the specialty, and you can define if you want them for short or long or mid-term projects. So this is how the cooperation can start, and what adds to this flexibility is the fact that that each developer can be easily recalled. So whenever you start a cooperation with one of our developers and your project arrives to an end, you just need to inform us with 1 week notice that you want to recall this developer, and we will terminate or just pause the cooperation. The second quality most sought after is availability. So when I have a new project, usually it's like we need a new developer the very same day or even yesterday. So what we strive to achieve here in terms of availability is sticking to those SLAs. So we will send a blind CV within 4 hours. We need 24 hours to arrange a phone interview, and the cooperation within around 5 business days. By cooperation start, I mean that our developer will arrive at your office or the cooperation will start remotely. And we can offer this kind of availability because those developers, they are our employees. So whenever approached by a new customer wanting to engage in outsourcing development with us, we will offer you developers that work for us or have been working for us for a couple of years, even 10 years plus. So we won't be hectically looking for new people to engage or new freelance consultants. These are our employees. This is why we can offer such availability. Next quality, and this one will be particularly interesting for those of you who are based in Europe. Poland, so the country where most our people are located in, is definitely in the heart of Europe. There are 30 European countries within a 3-hour flight and around 15 within a 1.5-hour flight. So it's really a convenient hub and really a place that can reach other destinations very easily. And not only about geographical proximity, but we won't have a problem to understand you as long as you speak English, because our team is 100% English speaking. We also work with international customers, so this is a priority for us that each and every of our developers can communicate in project circumstances easily. Okay, number 4 would be affordability, because it needs to make sense for you. You need to earn money on this kind of service. So to start with, when you use outsourcing development, there is no structural cost for you. So you don't need any HR department investment. You don't need office space to accommodate new people. So the barrier to entry is pretty low. Then, thanks to the cost advantage that we have, being located in Poland, we can offer really moderate rates. So that when you add your margin to that, you will come up with a price that will be, I think, acceptable for your end customers. So all that, flexibility, availability, proximity, and affordability make up our complete value proposition that can be used in different ways. So let's maybe summarize first how to use it. When is the right time to take a phone and call us? Let's assume that your company for some time has been experiencing steady numbers of employees on board, And obviously the number of projects, it will go up and down. It's like that in every project company. But the general trend, as you can notice, is positive, is upwards. So the problem that you will face is here in this area and here in this area. When there's a lot more work than your team can accommodate. So it can lead to one of the things that I mentioned at the beginning, like team burnout or missing deadlines. So this is exactly like here and here is exactly the correct moment where you should pick up the phone and call us for help, because we can fill those project peaks with our developers who can just be available for you for how long you need them. So you can start working with them here and recall them here and then restart here. So this way, the capacity of your team will increase to accommodate all those projects, but actually your head count will not. So the most risky fixed cost will not increase. And there are 4 most popular applications how to use this development outsourcing service. One is for some small projects or some modifications. So whenever you have a list of modifications that are quite easy to define and to send forward to a company like ours, you can do it. Also, small projects like localizations, especially for the Polish localization, NAV. So this is where we would be really useful. Second application is help desk services. We typically arrive as second level support, so we don't have a direct contact with your customer, but we will have direct contact with your consultants or with your team, and they will send tickets our way to be resolved. Then we are talking about short-term replacement. Whenever you are faced with a situation when your employee resigns, it's for sure very, very stressful. And typically they will be out of the company within probably 1 and 3 months, because this is a typical notice period. While typical time to find a new employee will vary between 3 and 6 months. So what then? If one of your people resigns and you cannot find a replacement very quickly, you can ask for help and engage one of our developers and actually invite him to your team, so that he will for a short time replace your previous employee and give you some breathing space and some time to find a new one. Fourth application is connected with new Microsoft product, Business Central. I'm sure that some of your companies will be or are already busy transitioning your ISV solutions to Business Central. You will also be busy implementing new Business Central projects. So who will now take care of your current NAV customers? Yeah, you can easily ask us for help to set up some help desk or send some small development our way. Okay, so this is how to use it, and this is how to start. There are three channels how you can contact us. Of course, through email, through phone, and through our website, which is fully dedicated to development outsourcing. After you contact us, we'll of course sign an NDA, because we'll be talking about your customers. We'll have access to your customers, so an NDA needs to be in place, so that it's a fair cooperation. And we can start with a free trial, which is You can send a small notification to us, or ask our developer to come to your office for a day or two, just to see how it is to be working with us, and what benefits we can actually bring. Let me now be a little bit more specific about how to use our service, because I prepared the 2 case studies of our existing customers, which will explain how the tasks and responsibility is divided between our companies. The first company is one of the 3 biggest food companies in the world. And the service we are rendering there is like pure body leasing. So we are here responsible to supply resources, to supply a developer or consultant of adequate level specified in the work order. And then most of the rest is on customer's part. So they will manage the resource, they will define the scope and tasks with them, and then also execute them. They should keep the work on schedule. They should provide the environment, so sometimes the office space, sometimes the computer, most of the time software or some passwords, of course. While admin and payroll will still be on our part, because it will be still our employee. So here's rather a simple kind of cooperation where we just deliver the developer at the desired level of expertise. Second scenario is we are partnered up with an NAV partner in Denmark, and there is like a full development outsourcing, I would call it. So we not only supply resources, but we also manage them. So what we actually strive to achieve is to realize the task defined by the customer. So we together define the scope and task, and this way create some kind of a functional requirement document. Then we will execute it, make sure that we work on schedule, agreed before. The customer might provide some kind of environment for the testing, for development, while we will also take care of admin and payroll. So these are, I would say, 2 very different scenarios, and everything in between is possible. So how does it actually work? Does it benefit our customers? You don't need to take our word for it, as here are real excerpts from what they are saying about our services. You can also contact me directly for specific references. And there are also different ways to contact us. First and foremost, I really encourage you to visit NAV Developers, which is dedicated to our outsourcing offer. But we have also different websites. So with Business Central, one of the first available on the internet. Please call me or email me if you have more questions. And